Alright, what's going on, guys? It's GSR here. So basically I wanted to talk to you guys today about, so I'm not going to go with every character in the game, but I'm just going to point out the characters that can pretty much challenge his Z-Hat because they have really good range on it. It is mainly Shao Kahn, Jax, Scorpion, Devora, and sometimes it can be Scarlet. Now, I'm not going to go through all these characters because I've already tested these characters out already, and I know for a fact that their up 3 is not going to work. Shang Tsung's up 3 is not going to work. You can get a full combo punish on this character even when the Z-Hat completely whiffs. You can hit them with the forward 4. Johnny Cage is different because he can... You know what? Let me show you Johnny Cage. So I'm not going to explain everything, but majority of the characters that I did not name, right, that can challenge Kung Lao Z-Hat, those are the characters you can beat out. You get what I'm saying? But the characters that I picked out, those are the characters that can challenge Kung Lao Z-Hat. So you're going to have to work on flawless blocking their up 2 and punishing it with an up 2 of your own. It's really up to you. So Johnny Cage is different because he flies directly into the air, right? So if I do this, right? Hold on. Is that long one? Yeah, I kind of figured. So if Johnny Cage decides to do this, right? See that? You can down one this nigga immediately, or you could just wait and then get your full combo punish and then do whatever the hell you're trying to do. There's a lot of characters in this game that will get punished, so I'll show you a clear example of that, and then I'm going to show you a clear example of a character that has really good range when they're up 3. So Liu Kang's a prime example. He has pretty decent range for the most part. So what you need to understand is that if the opponent, you know what, I'll talk about that later on in the video, actually. I'll just wait until I'm done with Liu Kang. Kitana has the worst up 2s and up 3s in the game. She has lack of range. She's retreating when she goes for her up 3, so she's not doing shit. She has no choice but to use her other defensive options, right along with the other characters in the game. And I think she has really terrible up 2s and up 3s, at least in my opinion. Some people may disagree and be like, nah, you can work around it. Yeah, that is possible, but it's trash. But anyway, not to bash the character, right? So this is a clear example that Liu Kang will get beat the fuck out. His shit don't mean a fucking thing to Kung Lao. He'll get beat out right along with the majority of the cast. And I did say majority of the cast, which means a huge portion of the characters in the game cannot challenge Kung Lao with their up 3. You understand what I'm saying? So you need to really understand that and go in training mode and actually learn that for yourself and realize, okay, at some point they will go for their up 3, and when they do go for their up 3, they will get beat the fuck out clean. Like I said, the characters that I'm about to say again, those are the characters that can challenge this nigga. Shao Kahn, Jax, and Scorpion, and sometime, well, and Devora, and sometimes Cabal can kind of reach you a little bit, and sometimes Scarlet can kind of reach you a little bit, but if you do it correctly and precisely, they're not going to be able to touch you. All the rest of the other characters, they're not hitting this nigga. They're not hitting them with the up 3, none of that. You understand what I'm saying? Alright guys, so I got Shao Kahn here because Shao Kahn is one of the characters in the game that can actually reach, you know, Kung Lao with their, up 3. But before I show that, right, Kung Lao, if he jumps in, he gets 30% meters. And if he does the regular version without jumping in, he gets like 27%, which is really good damage, as you can clearly see right here. Not only that, I'm going to show you guys the other options as well. If the opponent decides to roll forward, right, so I'm going to show you guys that. You can throw them. Right? But not only that, if you time it correctly, right, you can actually hit them with Kung Lao's diving kick. Now, keep in mind, I tried this already. For some reason, he can't get his crushing blowout, which is completely bullshit, but it is what it is. I don't even give a damn at this point. So, it's whatever. But you can definitely do shit like that as well. So, now the opponent's like, okay, so he shut that option down. What the fuck can I do now? So, if they roll backwards and you call it your Z-Hat, both of you guys are safe. Nobody has the advantage or nothing like that. But the problem here is that you wasted a bar meter and he got out for free, right? So, if you know for a fact that the opponent is going to do that, you can use Kung Lao's teleport, right? Which is this shit right here. You can use Kung Lao's teleport, right? Where you going? You ain't going nowhere. And then you can set your game up from there, right? So, you can definitely do that. Not only that, I'm going to show you guys what happens if they roll forwards and you do your teleport. You see what just happened? Shao Kahn was supposed to be rolling on this side, but he rolled on the other side, right? See that? So you can kind of fuck up like they're rolling because they thought they were going to roll forward and evade whatever the fuck you tried to do to them, and then next thing you know, they get hit with a damn throw and that charges up your crushing blow. So now you're like, what the fuck just happened? Like, what just happened? Why did that just happen to me, right? So then that's going to leave them fearful. But if you're using a character like the characters that I pointed out that can actually challenge him with a far-reaching up 3, which Shao Kahn has one of the best up 3s in the game, I think, that could cause a problem. So I do believe it's wise that you change your setup, because it's kind of complicated to deal with a character like Shao Kahn that has a really amazing up 3. Now when it comes to characters like Jax, and when it comes to characters like let's see here, when it comes to other characters like Devora, you could flawless block her, you could flawless block Jax, but for some reason Shao Kahn, his is a little bit more difficult. I don't know whether it's because it starts up at 9 frames, but it's a little bit more difficult to deal with, because even when you set it up correctly, sometimes he beats you out clean, right? Another thing to keep in mind is that if they know for a fact that you're going to go for your teleport, right, this is when their up 3 is going to become very valuable. You see that shit? See how I got hit out of that? You see that? So you can, right? You can do shit like that. Like you can do that. You understand what I'm saying? If you think that they're going to disrespect, right? But since I have Shao Kahn's up 3 out, it's time to pretty much show you guys what's going on with characters that can actually reach Kung Lao Z-Hat. Alright guys, so you can flawless block this. He's minus 13 on block, but the problem is that Kung Lao, when he does his setup, there is a little bit of space between you two, and then when you have characters like this that have a far-reaching up 3, what happens is that it creates some pushback. So it's really difficult for Kung Lao to punish this character because he's getting pushed back to like this area right here. So even if I dashed up afterwards and tried to hit this nigga with a forward 1, it wouldn't work. So you could just flawless block and make him minus 13, and if he disrespects those frames, he will get hit. But not only that, right, you can create a really good mind game with Kung Lao's forward 4 and his throw. The reason why is because it's pretty self-explanatory. If they disrespect their frames, they're going to get hit with the forward 4, right? But not only that, if they just block the forward 4 and they think they're safe, you could possibly go for an Abare. But not only that, you can create a mind game with the spin. But not only that, right, it gets even better. They have to worry about this. And if they take the throw in the wrong direction, well, let's just say something here. Say goodbye to your back knee. And then Kung Lao's still close to you to where he can whiff punish you if you try to mash an up 3, right? So yeah, there's that situation in itself, right? Okay, so now let's talk about Shao Kahn's up 3. So Shao Kahn is one of the few characters in the game that can do this. See this shit? See what I just did here? I flawless blocked him right then and there. Now keep in mind, it's kind of hard to do your setup against characters that can reach you like Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn's up 3 is insanely fucking fast. Like, it's insanely fast and it has amazing fucking range, right? And this is kind of complicated for Kung Lao because if you don't get the precise timing like I just did, it's not going to work. One of the biggest things you need to keep in mind is that if you delay your hits like this, watch what happens. See that? As soon as Kung Lao recovers, you want to go into it. So I'm gonna hold back. You see that? You want to immediately go into it. Like, and even right then and there, that acted as a counter. So if you're having a hard time, keep in mind when Kung Lao does this, he gets 20%. But there is another way to set this up. You can definitely go for this and then block afterwards, and you have a easier time of flawless blocking. And look how close he is now. You see this? You see how close he is now compared to when I actually tried to flawless block him and go for my up 2? It is kind of hard to go for your up 2. It doesn't matter how quick you are with your up 2. I wasn't even able to hit this nigga. Now, it is possible to hit him, but it's a lot more complicated to go for that setup. So when you're going against a character like him that has really good range on his up 3, sometimes changing your setup is a wise idea and risking some damage. Because if you look right here, it's only a 2% difference. It's not really that big of a deal, right? But if you're really trying to just go for it and, you know, See that shit? You have to be insanely fucking quick, and you have to know for a fact that the opponent is going to go for their up 3. But instead of doing that, you can just flawless block regularly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could literally just do that. See that shit? You could just regularly flawless block. And when you flawless block and you hear that magical noise, right, and you see your character's guard pulsate, it is possible to dash up a little bit and then go for this, but then again, the character is going to be safe. So yeah, like I said, the 1-2-1 is probably his go-to when it comes to characters that have really good range on their shit. You just have to master the timing of his 1-2-1, because once you master the timing of his 1-2-1, then you can block afterwards just like this. It's really up to you, man, but like this setup here is kind of difficult to do for some reason, because Shao Kahn's up 3 is fucking godlike. See that? He's still hitting me regardless if I do it correctly. Like, he's still fucking beating out my character. So it's kind of risky going for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Against Shao Kahn, but more than likely you're gonna go against other characters. You're not gonna go against Shao Kahn like that. It's very rare that you go against a Shao Kahn anyway. For some odd reason, I'm probably gonna train with Shao Kahn next. And also, I'm probably gonna make a video talking about how you can beat Shao Kahn's 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Just in case you do run to a Shao Kahn that's using the character that has access to a 50-50. But yeah, I think this is pretty much everything. You can actually standing one, well, not standing one, but you can forward one the shit out of him if you flawless block this. If you flawless block this, you can hit him with this because it starts up at 10 frames and he's minus 13 on block, right? But you have to precisely get it. Like, you have to like how should I put it? You have to time this 1-2-1 correctly. Like, he has to be in the air at a good amount, because if you do it right here, look what just happened. You see that? So, like I said, it's really hard to get that setup going with Kung Lao, but if you do the other setup, you have a better time of punishing him, but you have to time the 1-2-1 correctly, and once you time the 1-2-1 correctly, then the setup will be really good for you know, it'll be really good against characters like him that have really good range and stuff like that. But with that being said, this is all I really had to say. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'll catch you guys next video. Peace.